Hey guys, how you doing? So today I want to talk to us about mental health and mental health issues. This is something very important, but it's hardly discussed, in our society. So I want to use this chance to talk about mental health issues, my own experience in dealing with mental health issues both in Nigeria and in Germany, how to cope with mental health issues if you are working or studying, and then I'll do a second video where we look at the stigma associated with mental health issues or treating these issues, as well as issues related to suicide. So you guys stay tuned. So before I start, I want to show you guys my new gloves for hitting the heavy bag. I got them as a gift from my friend Moritz. So Moritz, falls du dieses Video anschaust, ja, ich bedanke mich sehr bei dir und ich bin sehr gespannt darauf, den Sandsack mit den Handschuhen zu hauen. Vielen Dank. So what exactly is mental health? Basically, mental health comprises our social, our emotional and our psychological well-being. How do you feel around people? How do you feel within yourself? How motivated are you to get up from the bed to do what you need to do every day of your life? How willing are you to accomplish tasks that you know you have to do? All these things come together to form our mental health picture. A person who is unwilling to do the necessary things that they should do, is possibly suffering from a mental health issue. And mental health issues, they range from the common ones like depression, anxiety, up to the rare cases like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, amongst other diseases or amongst other illnesses that people face. So as a child growing up in Nigeria, I was unaware totally, of mental health issues. I was of the opinion that any issue that a person faces, had to be physical, like sickness when you have malaria or something like that. And that if you have any issues affecting your brain, then you must be mad. Or you have any issues affecting your emotion, then you can just pray it away, or you must be crazy, why should you be feeling that way? So my first ever experience with a mental health issue, and it's one that affected me a great deal, was when I was in my third year at the University of Lagos. So this is a story that I've not told anybody apart from my mom. So I have a degree in electrical engineering from the University of Lagos, and I had a final CGPA of 4.40. In my early years at the university, I was one of those boys that people refer to as FUA, but when you're good, but when you're bono, but when you solve anything. And I was, living up to that name until I got to my third year at the university. This was the time I had my first mental health breakdown. I didn't know it was a mental health breakdown at the point, and I just kept living with it. I noticed that when my colleagues would go to class, I would be back in the hostel, laying down on my bed. I would spend the entire day on my bed, only getting down to eat or to buy food. I would also occasionally go to the mosque to pray. Sometimes I go to class, sit down at the back, look at what they're teaching, and just fade away into my own thoughts. I wasn't focusing. The middle of the semester came, and it was time to do tests. The various courses we took, we had tests in these various courses, and I didn't do well in any of the tests. I wasn't ready. I told myself, Ayo, don't worry. You have about 6 more weeks before the exams come. You can use this time to prepare for the exam. Don't worry, you catch up. But even these bad or failed tests were not enough to awaken me from my deep slumber. And I just kept laying on my bed, doing nothing until the examinations came. When the exams came, I tried to study the notes from the class. I didn't even have any notes, so I had to photocopy my friends' notes, a lot of their notes. I photocopied and read. If I couldn't photocopy your notes, I would borrow the notes from you for like 1 hour, 2 hours and read and give back to you. But then I think it was too late because the exams were already very near and I couldn't cover up all the courses. So I went to the exam hall to do my exams, one after the other, and these were the most difficult exams I'd ever done as a student at Unilag. And they weren't difficult because they were difficult. No, they were difficult because I wasn't ready for any of them. And I did poorly in my examinations. One exam stands out in my mind, and it's the exam I took in electronics. On that day, when I was in the exam hall, I saw the examination paper. There were like 20 objective questions and then 5 or 6 theory questions. I looked at the objective questions, I didn't know anything there. I looked at the theory questions, I had no idea what the questions were, what the answers were, what to do was. So I was like, okay, I can take a risk with the objectives. I just randomly select answers or answers I think are likely to be correct. So I did that. And when it came to the theory part, I was thinking, if you don't know anything, if you don't know how to solve a question at all, maybe you can write some stuff. And when you write that stuff, you get like, out of 20 marks, for example, you get 5 for at least writing something related to the answer. But in this case, I didn't even know anything related to the answer. I had no idea what they were teaching, so I couldn't even write anything in the theory section. At that point, after doing the objective section, I stood up and went to the front of the class and handed my sheet to the invigilator. He looked at me surprised. Everybody in the hall, my classmates, looked at me like, what's going on? There were some light murmurs of AY Baba, you don't finish, I want to parry it. Everybody thought I'd finished it, but I had not done anything. When I went out to the exam hall, I took my head down, and walked back to my hostel, and I was crying. I was crying profusely, I was praying like, oh God, don't let me fail this exam. Don't let me fail this exam. That semester was my worst semester at the University of Lagos, and it was in that semester that I dropped down from the first class to a GPA of 4.36. And ever since then, even after I bounced back from my mental health issues, I was unable to recover myself back to a first class. As you all know, or as some of you may know, when you are in a Nigerian system, sometimes some courses, even if you score an A, the lecturer can just give you a B. Some courses, the lecturer doesn't even mark the scripts, he just hands out grades randomly. So all these things came in to play, and even when I recovered from my mental health issues and I started working hard again to get back to my first class, I couldn't do it. At some point I got back to 4.46 or so, but then some lecturers came also with their marking scheme and I went back down. In summary, the mental health breakdown that I had in the third year of the first semester of my third year, it led to me not graduating with the first class. So when I moved to Germany for my MSc, my first semester was a blast. I did very well in all my courses. And when we got to the second semester, it started out very nicely. But along the way, I began to feel the way I felt when I was in Nigeria in my third year at Unilag. So I told myself, wow, Kini Lotu Pada, why you? This thing is trying to repeat itself again, I won't allow it to happen. So I was like, this thing almost ruined my life in Nigeria. I'm not going to allow it to come to Germany and ruin my life here in Germany. So I started to call some doctors. When I called the doctors, they told me, oh, this is not a doctor matter, call a therapist, we'll refer you. So finally I got in touch with the therapist of the student union of the universities in Munich, and I had some appointments with them, and it was very helpful to discuss with the therapist and talk about my experience also in Nigeria. After my sessions with that therapist, I was recommended to go to a proper hospital. When I got to the hospital and discussed with the doctors who are in charge of mental health issues, they recommended me to take some medication. They told me that I was suffering from what's known as recurring depression. So what this means is that for a while in my life, everything will be fine and I would be able to focus and do well in whatever I'm doing. Then there will be this short phase or long, depending on what the circumstances, where I would fall into a depression and be unable to do anything. So I was basically alternating between fine, depressed, and so they gave me some medication to stabilize my mood. When my family heard about this medication, they say, they're going to use it for experiment, and I know that they were talking out of love, but they didn't understand how it works. So I told them, okay, but anyway, I was still taking my medication because I realized that if I didn't take this stuff, it was going to affect me. I took the medication and it helped me to get balanced, and I was able to focus on my second semester and finish my master's degree, and finish the second year also of my master's degree. So basically, to cut that story short, the same issue happened to me in Germany. I sought help and I got better. So if you made it this far into the video, thank you very much for sticking around. Please drop your comment in the comment section below. Let me know your tips for dealing with mental health issues. Share your own experiences with mental health issues or the experience of someone that you know. And like the video, subscribe, and also share with your friends. I would love to see the channel grow with everybody, with us learning together.